All right, we have something going on here. Yeah, there we go. Need to get the stream up, and we'll see what's happening. Stream up, and here we go. There we go. All right, now we are going to try this. Okay, low approach. Pincer. The other thing you can play is P16. I'm getting used to the pincer, but I think in even games I would play less pincer and more like P16. Playing is a very interesting way, by the way. I probably should have played R16 here. Yeah, I definitely should have played R16 here. I don't think this is a good move. It's interesting because I actually think that when I played R18, Black should have played Q16. But since he played S18, I should have played, yeah. So I'm obviously going to cover over. I'll give him some of the bottom territory in exchange for some of the influence over here. That's a bad move. I'm definitely getting the better of this trade. He's boxed in. He's completely boxed in. And I have a lot of influence on the outside. There's not too many points here. He could ignore me, but then I would play Q18 and then he would have to answer. So I'm going to connect this first. So he's going to have to answer. Because if he doesn't, he's dead, basically. But this does actually affect that. So I don't really know what to do about this. I think I'm going to play this and see what he does. I think I probably should just play like C14, honestly. That's not necessarily a great move. But he also gave me this thing over here. I don't think I should have played like this. And now it makes like these stones not all that relevant. That's not a good move. I have the ladder there. He didn't have to do that though, but then he would have sacrificed the stone. I'm not going to answer that. This is way more important. Way, way more important. I'm pretty sure like f16 was pretty much mandatory the way he actually played. It's a horrible move. If he plays first of all, I'm going to do that, but that's a really, really awful move. So the weird thing is, like, you could just opt to not answer this move at all, which might have been what I would have done, actually, if I was him. This group's really not in any danger, but we'll see. I just have to be careful so I don't screw up on this move. I don't screw up to where this one. I do actually need to answer that. Thing is, I'm always building more outside influence. Do have to watch out for this, though. I'm just going to go over here. Really? I'm going to take the advantages first, and I want to see how he manages to live here. Because, like, obviously to kill this group, I will sacrifice these two. This doesn't get you anything, by the ways.
You have won.
Yeah, you can't ignore that because that's actually dead. There are certain moves you can do here, but your liberties are so tight here that you can't really do all that much. So let's actually go back and review this game. There were a couple of starting points where he messed up on. Like I said, the better move is actually to play p16. And that's just kind of an even trade thing. So I played this. He does this. So yeah, this is definitely like q16 is definitely the right move here. Going on the corner, being down one line, obviously isn't the best move. The best move. Oh, so this is the best move. That's interesting. I would have never thought that. So like when he hanes like s16 is a good move. I would have actually done this. This isn't so bad, honestly, because you can always opt to go this way as well. So to me, like I would probably play Q16 and just let him have like the S17 corner thing, because you can always wrap around the side. So doing this is obviously doing this. White definitely should have played here. So I definitely messed up there. So I played here. He connects. I go over top. This actually is the better move, because if I do this, you can extend out. And then like I have two weak groups where you have one and you have this in the mouth. So if I do this, you can just live down here, and then I still have these two connected problems. So as I go over top, oops, sorry. As I actually went over top, he should have definitely Hane'd out, because that creates problems for me. Because like the thing is, if he Hane's out, and I do this, like extending here, I have two weak groups. This group is not threatened, like I said, so I would have to connect this, and then he would actually have to live down here. But then, like, if you live down here, I still have two weak groups, and I can't really do anything about these two, so he should have Hane'd out. Doing this is very bad. But you can still do this, because, like, you know, white, I mean, there's really not much white can do. If white does this, then technically you can still, you know, like, you can still, well, I mean, it's still alive. I mean, you can do this, and it's, I mean, like, there's all sorts of things that you can actually do to make it kind of alive. Although this, there might be some problems here and there, but it's generally still alive. So that's still always the best option to Hane out. Letting me connect here, going down, then letting me do that. So white, this is actually a big move, because it fixes this cut. So I didn't do that for a while. I basically played this on the invasion. Yeah, I would have, like, if I was black, I would have either done this or done this. One of those two. Make use of this stone here, because doing this, this is fine. But that doesn't, like, right now, that doesn't really make any sense, because I've already connected this. So essentially, like, it's really hard for you to do anything, like, since I already connected this. You repair one, and then I basically take this stone on the outer periphery. Now, the thing is, like, even though this is big damage for white, for black. Black does have these user moves here, because, like, you can actually play a move like this, because if I ever give you Sente, you can just, like, come out, and I won't have the ladder anymore. So you can actually make use of this stone, you giving up this stone, to create all this influence over here. So that's more of a higher level. This is more of a higher level play. Actually making use of this stone, not running it out, but actually making use of this stone to actually build the influence over here, because it's Sente for you, because I can't afford to have you basically run this stone out. So that's kind of a higher level play people can actually kind of think of. So he goes here. I'm going to come up here, because this is actually really big. This shape isn't very good if I come up here. I guess this would have been bigger, but, like, this is, I think, to me, I like running this out more. So obviously Hane out, do this. This is obviously a really bad play. You should probably do this. And then white, I might just do something like this to threaten this stone here, and to protect this cut. But this is, like, letting me come out's really bad. Also, I definitely should have done this. But I just came out. This is okay. Yeah, I probably should have extended down here. That's actually fairly large. But I go here. So the thing is, like I said, when I played, you can just ignore this. Connecting this is actually a really bad move. We should just come out here. Because I can do this, but the most I can get is that one stone. So it's not really a big thing for me. I do that. He does that. He connects. I'm going to Hane this. He's going to do this. And then he does that. This is actually a really big move, because it does actually settle this group down here, sort of. So that's why, I should have played, when he did this, I should have definitely played this. Because now you don't really have a base. So remember that, like, since this move settles this group, that move is very big. So he does that. I connect. He does that. I'm going to connect. and then he comes out. Now, obviously, like, I'm not going to keep, I'm not going to, like, my ladder here still works, so it's fine. I'm not going to keep attacking this group because it's kind of pointless to attack that group. I'm going to put pressure on this group. This is a better move because it's very hard for me to actually contain that move. This move is pretty obvious what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to, if I keep doing this, this is a bad move because he can come up here. I can't let him cut here because then it's Sente for him. So I'm not going to do that directly. I'm going to obviously do something like this. And yes, this move is always here as well. So at this move, like black's, it's very easy to see black should just do this because that actually settles this group. But he actually comes up here. So I'm going to do this. At this point, you can actually pull this out because of this stone, I no longer have the ladder. So he blocks here. I'm going to do this. He does this. I connect. He does that, and of course this group is dead now. So that's obviously. Is this just dead? I don't think I actually have to do anything here. This is just dead regardless, so I shouldn't have even played. I should have just done this, because this is dead regardless, so I didn't read that right. So this basically kills this. Oh yeah, I should have just done this. This is much, much safer, because the way I actually answered it, there is still this cut, and this could actually bring some trouble. I don't think it really will. Because I can just kind of like, I can just do something like that and just drag it out like this, I guess. Well, no, I guess I can't, but this would actually give me a little bit of trouble because I can't just like header it this way. Maybe I can do something like this, but then you do have like options. I don't know, like it just doesn't feel good. This just doesn't really feel good. So there is a little bit of problems with that cut. So that's why when he Haned, I definitely should have done this. So I made a lot of mistakes here as well. So that's actually, I think, when this game actually ended. Because regardless, this group is dead. There's really not much you can do with this group. If you actually can disconnect this, I'll just give up these two. But there is this move as well. So you can't, like, you really can't ignore this. You really can't ignore this. You can't really just ignore this when you're in this shape. So you would have to do this. Like black would actually not have to have this move. You can do this, and you can basically live down here. But definitely like a bit of a screw up in the corner for both of us. A lot of like critical moves that weren't actually like given priority that should have actually been given priority. So this game was kind of messy, but in the end, like the misreading on that group obviously cost the game. All right, so I'm going to play one more game today because, yeah, I have time to play one more. Don't have time to play a lot, but if you're 6 to 12k, you can accept. I'm actually playing really sloppy these days, so I'm going to drop one of these games sooner or later. I'm definitely going to drop one of these games sooner or later because like I'm playing just so sloppy right now. All right, we got another game. Mainly because I'm not really taking too much time to think on moves unless I get in real trouble. And that's how I'm going to drop one of these games sooner or later. Because I'm going to make like I'm going to make like a big mistake that I can't recover from. Generally, if I fall behind by like, 15, 20 points, I can recover from it. But if I fall behind by more, a lot of times I can't recover from it. Once again, D16 is generally probably the best move here. Instead of the pincers. D16 is generally if you're playing an even game, D16 is generally the move that I would actually advise most people to go on. For white. This is like pretty usual for white. This is okay. It's not bad. I personally think after you do this, you definitely have to play d16. Because this is going to give you this is going to give you a huge host of problems if you let me do this. So like, yeah, this is going to give you like a whole lot of problems if you let me do this. So d16 is definitely like, you definitely have to do d16. I'm just going to do this. And then like, you've let me build up like so much potential here. And you can't do, you really can't do C12 or D12 because I can just push. So this is actually like, that's not a very good start from him because that's not that much, there's not that much territory for him there. D16 or E16? It's kind of like the little, I think it was D16 when he did that because I was here, right? Or oh, if I was here, it's E16. Sorry, it's E16. This is actually pretty big. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Obviously, I'm definitely gonna pincer on this one. Take some bottom territory. I'm probably gonna get Sente from this. This is in all territory. There's still breakpoints in here. I definitely would not invade that right now, because it makes this group weaker as well. I probably shouldn't have played this right now. I probably should have just like played like this over here. Yeah, it was E16 based on where my stone was. Sorry, I probably just didn't read the. That's always a bad move. Makes me too strong. It makes me a lot stronger. And the thing is, like, this move doesn't really help him. I was never going to. I was never going to break that anyway. So that move doesn't actually help him. I'm going to solidify this territory. I'm going to see like how he managed to attack these three stones. I did leave them quite vulnerable. I'll give you that. I did leave this three stones very, very vulnerable. But like I do have like peeps here though. Because like I have a solid bar here, I can actually play this move. But I'm actually not going to do that right now. I'm going to just play this. This generally is not a good move, but I'm going to fix this. I'm actually going to fix this right now. He doesn't really have a choice. He has to repair that. I mean, I guess he can Sente repair it, sort of. Well, that doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go ahead and do this then. I mean, I don't mind if he cuts these off. But giving me these three is just definitely not something that you want to do. And also, like, this is really bad for him because it's not a way that, like, here's the thing. You don't really have a way to deal with this right now. Like, for me, like, for him, like, he doesn't have a way to deal with me right now. I don't mind him destroying the territory down here. That's actually not all that important for me. Actually, no, I might have made a huge mistake here. Oh, crap. Yeah, I probably made a huge mistake here. No, did I? I don't think I did. No, I'm fine, I'm fine. Because you can't really capture these two. You can't really capture these two stones out here. This is just actually making it worse for him. Because now he has to think about these stones in here. That was kind of what I was afraid of, but I think I'm actually okay here. Can't do that. But he only has 4 liberties on that side. So that's actually a problem for him. Because I can sacrifice this territory down here. That's not very much territory. As long as I get this and this, I'm fine. His liberties are too tight over here. So that's actually what I'm getting at right now. Him coming down here is not such a big deal. This wasn't going to get me much territory anyways, because there was always the M2 invasion. So that was never a big thing. He doesn't have enough liberties to fight this. I have way more than he does. I'm like 2 or 3 liberties up, so this is not really a fightable thing. I have 2 free liberties here, so this isn't going to work. Even if the liberty was filled here, I can just go this way. So if he plays a6 right now, I can just play a7. The N2 invasion, not the N2 invasion, it's the M2 invasion. So right now, I don't know how it would work for him. Right now, I would probably just go, there's not much, like if he actually does this first, there's not much territory here, so I'd probably just go on top and fix the top right now. If this stuff wasn't here, I might play something like he plays M2, I play N2, and then it's just like a lot of fighting. But you know, like I could just play something like you know, I'm just gonna take away this right now. I don't think I need to answer that one. There's really not much he can do over there. There's not much territory down here, though. I will say that. Right now, I've gotten this territory, so as long as I don't screw up, I should win this game. That's fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this and then fly out. He didn't get the corner. That's fine as well. As long as like I really don't screw up, I should win. This is enough territory for me to win, basically. He doesn't have that much territory over the place. He does have to like fight basically at this point to have any chance of winning, but there's not. I'm not leaving much chance to actually fight. If you're seeing what I'm doing here, I'm taking away as much of his territory as possible. This is really risky though. This is actually quite risky for me. If I was him, I would have definitely played K2 and then K16 and then J18. Because at this point, like, there's no way you're going to get enough territory to win if you don't take a chance and try to kill these stones. Now, can he kill those stones? Probably not. But at this point, you kind of have to take that risk because you're very, very far behind right now. And in Go, it doesn't matter if you win by 1 point or if you win by 100 points. You know, it doesn't really matter how much you lose by in Go. If you lose, you lose. So that's why I would actually do that. See, like, there's just not much territory in here. This doesn't really matter all that much. I just have to, like, make sure I don't die, basically. He's only got 1 liberty here, so essentially, like, he can't do anything to this. He's not going to be able to kill this group, especially since I have the O2 play. So essentially, I just have to not screw up too badly. Get the Sente here. Come down on this. Just need to make sure like pretty much all my groups are alive and I don't die. Essentially, that's basically my play right now. I don't mind if he gets a little bit of territory here and there. Because as long as you basically can guarantee you don't die, you're perfectly fine at this point. Yeah, I'm just going to take this. I'm not going to answer that. Take a couple advantages here. There's not really that many huge plays on the board if you actually look at the state of the game right now. It's like a couple things here and there. I can make some territory here, I can make some territory there, but that's about it. This is me basically just using his desire to protect his territory to make even more territory for myself. So like I actually ended up making more territory here than he has here. Remember, this is connected to this, so he can't actually kill this. Because I can just do this for right now. I don't know if he has to answer that, actually. Sort of, not really, I guess. That's fine, but it doesn't really solve his issue. I'm just going to connect. It's fine. It does leave me a lot of Sente, though. And like, you do give me stuff like this. So like, I'm expanding my lead. I'm definitely expanding my lead in the end game. It's not bad. There might be some issues down here, so I'm just going to fix this. Just in case. I don't think I needed to, but just in case. Not going to take that risk. No need to. I do have to watch over here, though. Make sure I don't screw that up. Yeah, I think he should have blocked that one. Yeah, Atari. I have a couple liberties here. Atari, connect, Atari. Connect. I think I'm fine. Jump. Yeah, if I have 3, yes, 2, I'm fine. Just to make sure I don't screw up, more or less. Because eventually I'm going to have to take those stones anyways. This eye is too big for him to actually break. I don't really have a Twitch. I don't have a Twitch, so yeah. I don't stream on Twitch. I only do YouTube. I think most other streamers stream on Twitch, right? I'm just going to do this. Just solidify some territory here. Obviously this was like a misread on his part. I actually also prefer YouTube, but it's everyone's preference. They're actually pretty similar if you really think about it. If I really look at it, they're pretty similar. I mean, both of them have big enough user bases where I don't really need to worry about stuff, so it's all good. Crawl out the corner points, take that. I don't think he needs to worry about that. He will need to repair this sooner or later, though. That's fine. Going to just take a couple of back. He does need to repair that, other than that it's co. I'm gonna take it in case I screw up. Sometimes, like when the game's not really that close, you just gotta protect your win. And that's exactly what I was doing there. I was just protecting the win. I know there was another, I have another Liberty before I needed to do that, but still. If you actually count the points right now, like you will actually see that if I didn't have this here, it would be pretty close because I actually made a lot of points here. Yeah, some points here, a couple of points there, but I've actually made a decent amount of points here, a decent amount of points here, and a lot of points like in that area. So you look at this, this actually ended up being 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 11, 12 points. This ended up being like 10, 15 points here as well. And this is just a lot of territory here.
Pass.
Are there any more points on here? I actually don't think so, so he's right on passing.
Remove the dead stones.
Margin of victory was basically
You have
like
won.
this group, this here. So let's actually go back and review this game. It's going to be, it's interesting. There's always a lot of like early mistakes that let me get out into a decent amount of lead. So that, once again, like you guys have to remember, like once I play this a lot, so I actually play this a lot. Once White should actually do this first of all. What like D16 is the key move here. D16 is the key move here, and yes, like when he does this, like yes, E16 is probably the best move overall, but D16 is the key move here. I forget this as well, so I go down here, but like if White does that, Black has to do this, and that is the right move for White. Once Black actually does this, if Black does this, like White does this, this is a huge advantage for White. You can see like this is just a massive, massive advantage. And obviously like you don't really want to take that stone. You probably want to do this if you're Black. That stone's not that big. You want to get out this way. Because like that just gives me another Sente. And then that gives me like an advantage here. That's probably too early right now. I think like the best move for me is either here, either like here, here, or here. But this move is actually pretty big, so that's why I did it. That move is fine. Pincer, jump out, jump out. That's generally a bad move. That actually cost him like 8 points. That's generally a bad move. Here, here. Then I'm gonna go here. I probably should have just here. I probably should have just jumped out. Going here, I think like this might have been okay, because like that actually puts me in a hard position to counter, I guess. But or if I do like this, he can just do this. I feel like you have to like try to really attack these 3 stones if I do this. That I think is a little too loose. That's not a good move. You definitely need to fix this. I can let you cut off these 2 stones if I get these. That's obviously going to be bad. That's going to be bad as well. I feel like if you're going to... Yeah, you can't do that right now, I guess. And this is just sequencing here. Because you don't have enough liberties here to cut me off right now. So it would be really bad if you had more liberties here, but that side, I'm just going to win this fight. I have a couple more liberties here than you do. Of course, I'm just going to come out, and then since you only have 2 liberties here, this is also another reason why, like, when you see you don't have enough liberties here, you don't play all of this out. Because if you had actually more liberties here, you could actually make more use of this. I feel like I would still do this, though. I definitely would still do that. That just gives you a little bit more territory to work with. And even if I do this, you can just Hane back. You can just Hane back there. So I feel like here I would just definitely still block. It's not a big thing, though, but I would definitely still block. Letting me get this, and then coming here is okay. That expands, but I'm just going to go down here. So this thing... So like I said about here, when I did this, if I was Black, I would most definitely do this. I would absolutely do that because essentially, like, I have to try to fight. Like, if you're Black, you almost have to try to fight this because if you don't try to fight this, you're probably going to lose anyways. Now, I doubt you can actually kill White in here. White has a lot of options in here, and there's a lot of trouble in here. But at this point, like, you're down by 30, 40 points. I would definitely try to fight. I mean, there's all sorts of problems of Black trying to fight, of course. And of course that brings problems over here, but I would definitely try to fight because if you don't fight, you're going to lose anyways. So doing this like passively, just letting me get all this advantage, obviously is bad for you. That's actually pretty big as well. I'm not really sure what the big move is here right now, but coming up, letting me just jump out and then basically letting me get all these advantages. You're like, there's basically no way you're going to pull back from this. That's why you would actually take that fight right now. It's definitely why you would take that fight right now. But yeah, like this, like, so like a couple of things here, like the main takeaway from this game is like, obviously like this, it all started by like Black just not doing this. That is the key move there. White would have to play 2, and then you can do whatever you want. But that's a key move that I've seen. That's a key move. That's a key mistake I've seen SDKs make over and over again. Like I don't actually ever think I've seen him make the right move here. Like it's almost like when I do this, it's almost an automatic response that they do this because that's how the normal Joseki goes. But in this situation, you absolutely have to do this. And part of it is because I have the pincer move there. So that's one thing that needs to be learned. And the other thing is like, yeah, that move, this stone isn't that big. You definitely want to come out this way. So that just gives me even more of an advantage. And here, remember, like, never, like, unless you really, really need to make eyes, you don't want to play d7. Making me much stronger here takes away a lot of options. So you never really want to do this. Likewise, white never really, unless white's trying to make eyes somehow desperately, white doesn't want to do d6 because d6 is a damaging move. So this trade is not going to be good. The rest of this is just like a miscalculation. I thought I was actually in trouble until I realized that he doesn't have many liberties here. So a lot of this is just like reading as well. So the key thing is like you have to remember like how to play some of the early Josekis. Trading this bit of territory here for this massive influence out here is always going to be a black loss by quite a bit. So that's kind of like the game for today. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. And I will see you guys next time.